But as I said, that's only the first part of the gospel. The second part, that one's a little bit more challenging. So I want you to close your eyes again and think about a time when you were rich, when you at least had a lot. Or think of a time when you were full, when you didn't know what hunger was in any way, shape, or form, and life was really good. Or think of a time when you laughed and smiled and skipped all the way through. Or think of a time when everyone spoke well of you, when they told you how good you looked, or complimented you on some success, when you were popular. This is what Jesus says to you and me who have those experiences. He says, "Woe to you who are rich, for you have received your consolation. Woe to you who are full now, for you will be hungry. And woe to you who are laughing now, for you will mourn and weep. And woe to you when all speak well of you, for that is what their ancestors did to the false prophets." Again, let's be clear what Jesus is saying here. Jesus is not saying that laughter is bad. Jesus is not saying that having wealth or riches or living a comfortable life is bad. Jesus is not saying that popularity is bad. But what he is saying is this. Like, he doesn't say any of that in the gospel. What he does say is, you who have this, that is your reward. That is your reward. Enjoy it because that's it. It's good and it's a blessing in this life, but one day remember that it will fade away. You can't ride that into heaven. As the old saying goes, no one saw a Brinks truck behind the hearse on the way to the cemetery. You can't ride it into heaven. He is saying that those of us who enjoy the fullness that this life on earth has to offer, materially or free from problems or whatever it is, he says that's well and good, but don't depend on it, because one day it could all disappear. In other words, he is saying, don't fall into the temptation of thinking life is so good that we forget about God. Whether we are in the category of those who have little or those who have a lot, both groups of people end up in the same place in this gospel. And it's this place. Never forget God. Remember that everything that you deserve, that you may not have, and everything that you have right now will fade away. And everything that you need comes from God. Jesus is reorienting all humanity who hear these words to say, God is it. If we keep our focus on God, we can get through those hard times. Again, I'm not talking in a cliche form. He's also saying that if we have a great life and everything is going well, enjoy that. But don't forget, God is at the heart of it all. Don't forget God. And if we take that lesson, then we have heard the Sermon on the Plain. Let us remember then the words of Christ.